Many people think that the best way to escape war is to dwell upon its horrors and to imprint them vividly upon the minds of the younger generation, flaunt the grisly photographs before their eyes. They fill their ears with tales of carnage. They dilate upon the ineptitude of generals and admirals. They denounce the crime and insensate folly of human strife.
In 1940, the Second World War started. One morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, I heard the sirens for the first time in my life. And it was so bad. I was so frightened that I rushed out of my bed and went to my mother's bed. I was 6.
I was only about 5, and I remember going to school, walking along the pavement or running as a child does, and suddenly I used to hear this plane diving, and you'd hear this terrible noise, and then I'd hear they were shooting at me on the way to school. I didn't know it was going to be the Battle of Britain. I didn't know what was going on. But my mother said to me, I had a younger brother, 4.5 years younger than me, and my mother said, the two of you come into my bed tonight because there's going to be a lot of noise and it'll be very scary. You lie in my bed with me and we'll draw the curtains and have the lights off and we'll watch what goes on. So, when it got dark, we didn't know what was going to go on. Got into her bed. She had one arm around me and one arm around my brother. And then you started seeing these amazing searchlights. They were crossing each other across the sky and picking out planes. And it was the noise, the colours. It was a clear night, and you had this dark blue sky and these searchlights picking out the planes, and the meow and the noise and the oh. And we weren't scared. It was just, I suppose, like watching a film.
As a child, you see, those things looked a bit romantic to you. I mean, you know, we used to say, to see the planes and say what make they were, were the English, were the Germans.
But when you're a child, you remember things in a different way. You're not scared of what's going on. It's just sort of like an adventure, and you take it because you don't know life is any different. The children, Helena, she was so pretty, and Warwick was younger, and they were so happy and they had no cares. And then the next, from one day to the next, their whole life changed. They suddenly didn't have a father. He'd been killed. And the little boy, he knew his daddy wasn't coming back. And they were so sad. And that brought it back to me, that that's what life was about. There was a war going on. And before that, I didn't really know. I remember hearing all this commotion, wonderful, wonderful celebration going on, fireworks, and who knows how they made the fireworks, out of what. But they were fireworks and people cheering, and it was the end of the war and it was VE Day.
So everybody was going out in the streets and they were celebrating and they were ringing the church bells. It was very joyful, yeah.
People only seem to pull together when something terrible happens. If only they could realize that there's so many more important things in life.